Hi, second graders, Miss Shannon here. Today we will work on our comprehension skill of the week, which is author's purpose. We have practiced author's purpose earlier this school year, but let's remind ourselves what it is. Authors write to answer, explain, or describe. As you read, look for clues to the author's purpose. An author writes nonfiction, or expository, to explain, answer, or describe information about a topic. An author may have strong beliefs about a topic and write to persuade or to convince the reader to feel the same way as they do. An author also might want to write a story to entertain the readers. So thinking about these three different reasons why authors write a text is either to explain and describe, to persuade you to think a certain way, or to entertain you. As we read our story today, you will think about what is the author's purpose in writing this text. To find the author's purpose for writing a selection, you will find clues in the text and ask yourself, what does the author want me to know? What does the author want the reader to learn or know after reading their story? That will lead you to the author's purpose. This is the graphic organizer we will be using this week. You can see there are two clues that will lead us to determining the author's purpose. For this assignment, you will need your Turn practice book, pages 263 through 265. So go ahead and find that page now in your book and get ready to follow along as I read aloud. Ocean energy. We use energy every day to do work. With energy, we can turn on a light, heat a home, cook food, and run a computer. Much of our energy comes from coal, oil, and gas. Some of our energy comes from the sun and the wind. One day, we might even get our energy from the ocean. Yes, energy can come from the ocean. There are not many ocean power plants right now, but the ocean is a big source of energy. Tidal energy. The ocean has high and low tides. This means the water rises and falls every 12 hours. This tidal energy can be used to make power. When high tide flows into the shore, the water is trapped behind a dam. The water is stored in a large pool. When low tide occurs, the water behind the dam is let out. The rushing water runs a machine inside the dam. The machine makes electricity. Ocean wave energy. The water in the ocean is always moving. The movement of ocean waves can run a machine built to produce power. The waves move up and down inside the machine. They spin parts of the machine. The machine makes energy. Heat energy. The water temperature on the ocean surface is warmer than below. That's because the sun heats the water on top. Deep below the surface, the water is very cold. This temperature difference creates heat energy. A power plant uses this heat energy to make electricity. The ocean is a giant source of energy. Maybe one day, the ocean will power the world. All right, second graders, thank you for listening and following along with me as I read. We are now going to answer the comprehension questions about what we just read. Number 1, what is this passage about? What is this passage mostly about? Well, let's go back to the front and look at the title. The title is Ocean Energy. And I think that most of this article was all about how we can create energy from the ocean, from tidal waves, from the tide moving in and out, from ocean waves going up and down, from the heat from the ocean. So this was all about ocean energy. We can say This passage is about making energy from the ocean. That's what it was mostly about. Question number 2. What is one fact that the author includes about ocean energy? Well, second graders, go back into the text and find one fact that you learned about ocean energy. I will do the same. I'm going to look under the section titled Tidal Energy, and I'm going to see what I learned about tidal energy. I read that when the tide moves in and out every 12 hours, that the rushing waters can create electricity by running a machine inside the dam. That's something I learned, a fact. So I'm going to write for number 2. Rushing water from the moving tides can make energy. That is a fact that I learned about ocean energy from reading this passage. If you want to write down a different fact that you found interesting, you can. Number 3. What is another fact that the author includes about ocean energy? Well, this time I will look at a different section. I'm going to look through the section titled Ocean Wave Energy. What did we learn about in this section of the story? Well, we learned that the water in the ocean is always moving and that the waves move up and down. And as the waves move up and down, they spin parts of a machine to create energy. So ocean waves can create energy by moving parts of a machine. I wrote, ocean waves can move up and down to run a machine and make energy. Again, if you want to write in your own words or come up with your own facts, you can. Finally, number 4. What is the author's purpose for writing this passage? Well, I'm going to plug my information into my graphic organizer. Now, you do not need to do this. We are just using this as an example. I took my 2 clues that we just wrote down, that rushing water from the ocean can make energy, that rushing water from the moving ocean tides can make energy, and that ocean waves can move up and down to run a machine and make energy. Those are 2 clues or facts I learned from this text. Now, what do you suppose the author's purpose was in telling us about how ocean energy is made? What was the author's purpose? Did the author write this to explain or describe information about a topic? Did the author write this to persuade or convince us to feel the same way they did? Or did the author write this story to entertain us and make us laugh? Think about what is the author's purpose for writing this passage. When you found your answer, write it down on the line and remember to take a picture of your finished work and add it to the slideshow.